Christopher Alexander is here. He's an AI expert. He's the Chief Analytics Officer of the Pioneer Development Group. Christopher, how are you, sir?
Thank you.
Good to talk to you. I want to talk to you about how this will affect our economy and people's jobs specifically. But before we get to that, what are your thoughts on the Apple Vision Pro?
Well, I think it's very early stage technology, and I think they're throwing it out to the faithful and then seeing how it works, and then looking at how to miniaturize it. I think miniaturization is going to be the key. So you're not walking around with ski goggles on your face all the time.
Yeah. How small do you? Well, I was gonna say how small do you see it getting, but Elon just put a brain chip into someone's brain, so a computer chip into someone's brain, so it could get pretty small. But it's just like anything, right? I mean, like computers used to be the size of a warehouse, and now they're minuscule. It'll be like that, right?
Exactly. I imagine they'll figure out a way to make the frame of the glasses, all of the computing technology would be where they'd move to. And just a matter of time, right? The more powerful the chip, the smaller it gets, the better this approach is going to work for Apple, I think.
That's amazing. What are the Apple Vision Pro people and developers focusing on when it comes to the Apple Vision Pro? What's their vision?
Well, one thing industry-wide that's definitely happening is the use of AI. And, to date, what AI is used for is going through massive amounts of data and connecting those dots that a team of human analysts may never be able to figure out. And, what they were talking about in Las Vegas at CES this year is sort of the next wave, which is looking at all of your data. Granted, you're giving them permission to use this, but connecting all those dots in your personal life. So instead of a massive data model with millions or even billions of people, it's everything about you to help make better recommendations about where you might want to eat, go to vacation, or what you might want to buy in the future.
That's so wild, because the first thing I think we have a space for there is what you want to buy, right? So you clicked on this link once, and now the algorithm thinks you'll like this link. But that's whatever. Like, it's got to be more than just that, right? What else could this data possibly know about me and make my life, quote unquote, better?
Sure. Well, it looks at everything from when you like to buy things, which is probably more designed to help the company that wants to sell you something, but to those things that you don't know you like, right? So the latest generation of ad technology that serves you ads on the web, they like to say, when you look at Google search, that's what you're looking for. And what they're trying to do behind the scenes is combine all this data about you to figure out what you didn't know you needed. So maybe, for example, you start wandering at work with things you're looking at in your search history, or your sleep patterns change and they work out. That's when you really need a vacation. And the assistant may say, hey, you should think about it. Here's some places to go. Especially if you think of biometric data. AI is going to be moving into your automobile, looking at how you drive, even, and where you go. So just a staggering amount of data. And what's perhaps most interesting is AI systems are going to figure out what AI systems need to do because the problem is so complicated.
Okay, yeah, that last thing was pretty meta. So AI will be improving AI. That seems problematic to me eventually.
It can be. The big problem right now is what's called the black box. Those are the algorithms that govern any AI's operation. And those rules that are written that become algorithms are proprietary for good reason. They really are where the magic happens, if you will. So there's a real struggle right now about how to safely regulate that while also protecting innovation and companies' proprietary data. It's going to be a huge, huge challenge moving forward.
Who watching now needs to be the most worried about their job being replaced?
White collar workers who deal with large amounts of data, an actuary, a paralegal, people like that. I would suggest if you're in those industries, the analogy is it's the 1970s and you're an auto worker in Detroit. The difference and the good news for people is, unlike the 1970s in Detroit, you couldn't, in the 70s, they couldn't fly to Japan and go to the robotics factory and understand how the robotics was going to impact the assembly line and then learn to work with it, right? It just came and off they went. Anyone can learn how to work with AI right now. Log in, you got to give me your email address. I promise you they already probably have it. And you can figure out how to implement AI in your workplace. So it's not really coming to replace you, but it is going to make you more productive and you're going to see one of two things: hiring freezes or reductions as a result.
Yeah, IBM first comes to mind, right? They said they were going to eliminate 4,000 jobs at IBM, and hopefully that's a wake up to like white collar workers. Like, wait, IBM, these aren't low wage assembly line workers who are getting cut. These are people like me. So hopefully people can see that. How can it help someone's job?
Well, depending on who you ask, which probably directly correlates to how much their particular firm is invested in an AI capability. The general number is about 30 to 40% improvement in productivity for white collar staff. So the way that you can really use it, internal communications, it's great to go through, the AI goes through, looks at what you've written, make sure it's coherent, it's well written, and so on and so forth. No professional student shouldn't be using it exclusively, but something like internal communications where you're worried about a typo in a corporate setting, it's going to do that for you. It's an okay research tool. It certainly gets the basics and points you in the right direction. In a lot of ways, AI is like a calculator, but for writing and some research and thinking, which is to say, you got to know how it works. You got to know what the answer is so you can be sure you can trust it. But it's going to speed things up and make it a lot easier and free you up for higher level tasks.
We only got about a minute. What's your dystopian future of this if we're not careful?
Well, the Air Force, and now they've said it didn't exactly happen that way, but they ran a test and they were looking to break it. I do want to make this clear. They were looking to find problems with the AI, but they gamified a drone being controlled by a human operator attacking targets. And they gave the AI a point for every target that it destroyed. The AI drone destroyed the targets that it was supposed to, and then noticed there were a series of other targets and wanted to engage the targets. The operator, the human operator, remember the AI didn't know whether this was real or not, said, no, there's civilian casualties that could be risked. This isn't a valuable target, or against the laws of warfare. And the AI attacked the drone operator so that it could continue to score points. So they stopped the exercise, started again, and the AI engaged a second time. And when it got to that same problem, it couldn't kill the operator. So it proceeded to try to destroy the world's communication systems so it couldn't be told to stop. So AI already right now is like a sociopathic 4-year-old that you teach to win games, very much like that movie War Games. And so we're kind of there. The good news is in the Department of Defense, they have a policy. An AI capability can't take a human life. So there's some safeguards, but AI is basically, a 4-year-old that will kill you to win.
Yeah. What will happen before we put a safeguard in real life? That is my concern, because there'll be things that we never even would have thought of. That's my concern. Christopher Alexander, AI expert, Chief Analytics Officer of Pioneer Development Group. Christopher, great to talk to you, sir.